What are you doing? It's already on.
Hello, everyone of the free world and those who have access to YouTube. This is Hit Play. We're here in 2022. It's been a minute. We haven't seen you guys. How are you guys doing? Kids look great. Your partners look great. Or if you're single, you look great.
Your pets are adorable. We can see you, but you
your
can't
plants,
see us.
Your plants look amazing. Thank you. Yeah, we're here in 2022 with our
First
podcast of 2022.
anticipated one.
Yeah.
We built up to this.
We built up to this and then just killed all hype for it. And then we're like, all right, put this on the back burner for another month.
Yeah, we had to.
And then, yeah, because that's just how we roll. But we're reviewing Licorice Pizza today, the Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't know why I'm still thinking of 2022.
It came out last year.
It did. Technically, yes,
Yeah.
it did. Thank you.
It came out a week ago, but it was last year.
The Paul Thomas Anderson movie starring Alana Haim, Cooper Hoffman, and various other
Ensemble
guests.
cast of.
Anyways, it's getting a lot of buzz. Maybe,
Which is interesting because you made the most mention of this. The marketing for this movie seemed like it was
basically
did not
non-existent.
exist. Yeah.
No. If you are on Facebook and you have even remotely looked up Licorice Pizza, I guarantee you I already know what ads you're getting because I'm getting the same 3. It's just the Haim sisters looking in a camera and like, hey, go watch Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
And it's like a 10-second little snippet.
I don't even get those. No.
And that's really it on Facebook. So,
because I remember seeing one ad on YouTube in like September maybe, and then there was the second one when we went to see Dune. No, when we saw No Time to Die in that place.
the trailer.
And those are like the only 2 for it that I saw in that whole stretch of time.
Yeah.
Up until now.
It is a. I think we can chalk it up as a box office flop.
Well, I think that was partially expected going into
Yeah.
it. It's like the combination of the pandemic, which is just going to make any movie do slightly
Worse
at the box office. Spider-Man,
unless you're Spider-Man,
coming out before it, and obviously everyone's going to go see that instead.
and just dropping big deuces all over the table.
And it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, and
His movies don't lend themselves
one thing we
well
learned
to commercial
watching all his
success.
movies. He does not make his money back all
No.
the time.
No. Without looking, I'm gonna cover the screen. Could you guess the budget?
The budget for it, was it maybe like 10 million?
No.
7 million.
Times that by 4.
By 40 million?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Probably 20 of that just went to David Bowie. Or his estate, rather.
Yeah. And you said they made 4 million?
It's made 6.4 as of
6.4.
as of recording. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's a big time
You're
flop.
almost there. Come on, guys. We can get it there.
That is a big time flop. But like we said, Paul Thomas Anderson just doesn't lend himself well to people just going to go see his movies for some reason.
Let's start a Kickstarter to make it up to 40 million.
I think he's doing okay. Doing okay. He's probably going to sell this movie to Netflix. Or I guess
Criterion
Amazon
Collection.
because it's MGM now.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Or USA and Criterion Collection.
Yeah. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he
doing
needs.
fine.
He's married to Maya Rudolph. I don't think he needs our. I don't think he needs our help.
Initial thoughts?
Yeah, let's break this down, man. Your first reaction coming from. This is a live take, by the way. We're very bad about letting our feelings gestate for hours and just get into it. So.
Well, I had told you beforehand that what I was. The only, not so much expectation, but like hope that I had going into this was that he would do something unique stylistically. And I was hoping specifically that he would go back to like how he was filming Boogie Nights and
Pre-Magnolia days.
Even Magnolia itself too. There were some elements in there. There were individual shots where I was like, that's like a subdued version of what he would do. There was one specific shot where it was, I think Alana gets in a car, or she gets in the big truck, and it does a push-in on her as she's getting in. There's a scene like that in Magnolia where they get in a car and it does a push-in as they get in the door. But in Magnolia, it's like, whoosh, Like it's almost like immediate. And in this movie, it's like at half that speed. And I was like, okay, that's like a kind of a subdued version. Same trick, same
copying
director,
himself.
but he's mellowed out.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't appreciate that. I wish it was more
Original.
not original, but just more like in your face, like Magnolia and Boogie Nights is. There were some moments like that.
Unorthodox,
Yeah.
would you say?
A little bit. That's just what I wanted out of it.
Yeah.
So on that front, I was disappointed. Yeah.
That's fair. That's a fair criticism, I guess, if you will. It did feel very PTA-esque. Not necessarily in a bad way. But it was like, at least in terms of his technicality, like there's dolly shots, there's push-ins, there's pullbacks.
People running with handheld camera behind them.
There's a lot of handheld camera action.
He does that in Boogie Nights too. Yeah.
There's like wackiness as far as like I remember one shot where a door closes and the camera's on the door and it goes into it, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And there's there's like little shots like that where it's like, that's cool.
Other than that, though, nothing else really stood out on that front. I'm not saying for the because the two lead actors are, I don't know, this probably isn't their first like work in film.
No.
But I think they both did well.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that's the biggest strength of this movie is the leads. At least the Alana character as well.
I also liked her, both the actress and I liked the character the most. Yeah. For me personally.
It's very refreshing to see a female character like actually have
agency.
Yeah. And like almost, I don't want to say edginess because it seems like I'm trying to make her seem like she's like a Redditor.
A teenager.
Yeah. Or something like that. But she's like, she's yelling at people. She's like, fuck you guys. Yeah. Like she swears like a sailor, and she's, pushing people around, and she's getting mad and getting in everybody's face. And so it's nice to see that and not have it like the stereotypical bitchy teenager, quote unquote teenager character.
She's 25.
She's 25, which, we can get into in a little bit. Yeah.
Brought up throughout the movie.
But that was cool. It was cool to see like a character who isn't a stereotypical female character, because a lot of male directors, and I think we've been on record talking about certain directors having issues with their portrayal of women at times. I think he handled it pretty well. Yeah. Considering he is not a female that was 25 in the 70s.
Yeah. However, I think the Cooper Hoffman character is a resident.
100%. 100%. Cooper Hoffman is Paul Thomas Anderson.
I hated that guy from like the first.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like him at all.
You didn't like his character, or you didn't like the performance?
Oh, yeah. The performance, he sells it. He does it so well that it's probably part of the reason why I hate the character. But just like, he has that cockiness of like I don't know. He's like the kind of guy who's never been told no before. From his parents or from a woman, which is part of the reason why I hated their relationship. This is, well, okay, we're at characters now, so let's stay there. When we get to plot, though, I got stuff to say. However, in terms of all the other characters in this movie, all the other actors, I think even the actual like kids did well too. The little kids.
Yeah.
The brother and all his friends, they did well. Everyone else in this movie is already famous. Bradley Cooper. Sean Penn apparently is in this movie. I didn't know it was Sean Penn at first.
Benny Safdie, we should mention.
Benny Safdie did very well.
He looked very familiar to me, and then when I saw the credits, I was like, that's...
I was recognize him at first?
I was Leo.
Okay.
Well, I knew he was a big guy.
Yeah.
And I had known Benny Safdie was in the movie, but I just didn't, for some reason, didn't click name to face... Like when I was watching the movie.
That's why I knew it was Sean Penn.
Yeah.
I saw him and I was like, I know you from somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's a good that guy.
Yeah. Bradley Cooper is in this movie, basically doing what Alfred Molina did in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
That seemed like almost too much of a like one-to-one parallel. Those two parts right there. This like let's go help this guy out, but he's super crazy and he just destroys things, and he gets like, he has this weird temperament and anger issues, and it's like, it was fun to watch, but it was too similar to Boogie Nights for me. And I don't know, it's too much of a vignette.
Yeah.
This movie is like just composed of, let's go over here and there's this cool thing, and then this really loose connection will tie into this other thing. And it's like she sees a poster for Benny Sadfi, and then it's just like, okay, next
now
part
I work
of the
for
movie.
Benny Safdie.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. It's really loose. The plot is extremely like...
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a movie that's similar to it in that regard, because it's not a
3-act structure, really.
It's not a 3-act structure, but at the same time, it's not a free, loose movie like...
Where there's no plot whatsoever.
Yeah, where it's like, like a Linklater movie.
Yeah.
Like there's actual like character development, quote unquote, I guess. There's agency within the characters to actually do something about their lives.
Their relationship has a 3-act structure too.
Yes.
Because it is every single romance movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
They meet, they have a falling out, they fall in love. There you go. But like the circumstances around that is so like wacky.
And I think that's what I appreciated about it the most, was just the absurdity of this movie. Because I mean, like, we like Boogie Nights because Boogie Nights is just balls to the walls.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but at the same time makes
all the
perfect sense in the world. And I think to some degree
there's a little bit of that energy
here. Yeah.
But
it's...
I would say only a little bit.
The problem with it, though, is that it's a 15-year-old and a 25-year-old, and you're like, how much trouble can these guys actually get into before, federal agents are descending on her doorsteps?
Okay, well, that's in terms of the romance. Yes, that's true.
Well, just I don't know, like if,
here's the thing:
25-year-old woman's hanging out with a 15-year-old and his friends, just causing mayhem.
Yeah. Well, okay, my issue with that was with the romance, because the Alana character has so much of her own agency that, for me, I was so prepared for it to end with her saying, "Hey, what was his name? Cooper, the kid's name."
Gary,
that's right.
Cooper's the actor.
Yeah, with just her being like, I don't know. I didn't think it was gonna be a love story, actually. Watching the movie, I thought it was gonna be like, you've helped me grow up, even though I'm older than you.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna go and do my own thing, but you got your friends.
I thought he was gonna take that path too.
And then they fall in love and they kiss, and I'm just like, why? Like I get it, because it's like Paul Thomas Anderson loves those feel-good kind of movies, Punch Drunk Love, stuff like that. So I get why he would make that decision. But just like for what the character needed, or what the character was set up to need, Because it's hinted at so often that she is arguably more interested in guys her age.
Yeah. Well, there's multiple scenes where she's double guessing why she hangs out with him.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's like, okay, I see you guys. I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it's kind of, as much as the ending is a happy, feel-good ending, it's also, like you said,
it's generic romance.
It's just kind of like, we could have done this. Could have been La La Land.
Yeah. That's not a good comparison to make. I was thinking of it. It's a good comparison to make.
I was thinking, well, yeah, I mean, not in terms of like the actual movie, but like the plot and the meaning behind La La Land was, sometimes you just can't be with that one person at the time.
Yeah.
And it's like,
And especially, I think, the Alana character arc should have been, you need to act your age.
Yeah.
But these kids are going to help you learn how to do that.
Yeah.
The Gary character arc should have been, hey, you're not always going to get what you want, and you have to be okay with letting other people do what they want to do. And he didn't get that either. And I was like, I don't respect that whatsoever.
I think a stronger choice for Gary would have been like the often mentioned first love that doesn't go right.
Yeah. Like, if the last shot was him watching Alana and the dude with the mustache walk away into the sunset, and he was like, yeah, I'm fine with that. She has to go be her own person. I would have been like, this is probably one of, like, I actually probably would have liked this movie a lot more.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not that.
It just feels like
It feels hollow a little bit.
directors, if you're watching this, make the bold decision and go the La La
Yeah.
Land route.
Just make us unhappy.
We have too many good feel movies in the world right now. We need
Oh,
some.
man.
We need some unhappiness.
I don't know. I get why he did it. I wouldn't have done it. And maybe he didn't want to do it either, but he had to. You know, there's always that situation of producers want it to be happy,
Yeah.
but he doesn't. I personally, I would have preferred an alternative ending like that. I think that would have made the movie stronger.
I think so.
I
As
think
well.
this movie is still enjoyable. And I think if you want to see a feel-good movie or you just want to see a fun movie, I would recommend it. But
It's not as. I'll say this. It's not as like taxing of a watch as past PTA movies.
that's true.
At least
yeah. Recently.
like the past three.
Yeah.
Yeah. Phantom Thread,
Inherent Vice.
Inherent Vice, and then
The Master.
The Master.
Yeah, I would agree
It's
too.
it's more easygoing on
It
the
is
mind
a
and
lot like
soul.
Punch Drunk Love,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for sure. But that would only be...
It's a lot
my
less
review.
Shakespearean than
Anything with Daniel
Boogie
Day-Lewis in
Nights.
it. Oh, then Boogie Nights.
I was gonna say Boogie Nights. Well, cause I've seen people try and compare it to Boogie Nights, and I'm like, after watching it, I'm like,
Like I said, there's a little bit of that energy there. There's
Yeah,
a little bit
yeah,
of the
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
cockiness. I can like from PTA, the kind of I can do whatever I want mentality.
Mhm.
But it's mellowed out here. You know,
Definitely.
I would give it probably I would probably give it a B. I think I enjoyed it. I liked watching it.
Yeah, it was nice to see an original story in theaters.
Yes, and
It'd
even
been a
though
minute.
it has the 3 act, like the romance itself is your typical romance you'll see in
It's
movies.
still really well done
It is still,
for being a movie about a 25 and a 15-year-old.
yeah, it has flair to it. It has flavor
Yeah.
and pedophilia. But other than that,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
hate to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know it's
Can
based?
I recommend?
It's
It is based on the real person.
it's partly inspired by the mom of the sisters.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No. But I did know that it was partially also inspired by a real person.
Yeah. So
Which-
the mom. So the family is all a real family.
Yeah.
Alana's family.
Yeah.
That's all a real family. And the mom was PTA's art teacher. I don't remember what part of school. Maybe IMDb has it. Elementary school. And he had a crush on the mom when he was in elementary school. And that's like part of his inspiration.
Jeez. I had read that
It's kind of funny.
P.T. Anderson had a friend who, as a kid, owned a waterbed store and a pinball shop.
Yeah.
And the Bradley Cooper character is a real person. And PTA got his permission.
John Peters.
Yeah. To
use
write
his
him and do
likeness.
it. Yeah.
Did you find this movie funny?
There were definitely some funny moments. Like the Bradley Cooper, the John Peters character, where he
Mhm.
was like, I love Barbara Streisand. It's a bit too much sometimes. It's kind of boring, but I love her.
I think my favorite part was when he was flipping shit on the street and then he sees the chicks and he runs back. Hey, y'all like peanut butter? No, y'all don't? What are you talking about? Nutty or creamy? I mean, whatever kind you like.
That's the kind of stuff that, like,
It's like that's like classic 20-year-old drunk guy on a
Yeah.
bar trying to just pick up women at the end of the night.
with anything that
It's
will work.
so
yeah.
funny. I thought that I couldn't.
No, I definitely
Yeah.
thought that there was funny moments in this movie.
It's almost. It's not like. It's not The Hangover or any
No.
like Adam McKay movie where you're just like laughing the whole time. It's more just like,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, you'll exhale through your nose a few times during this movie.
Yeah.
There were some scenes, though, where I felt like, what's the point here? Like, what are we getting at?
Like the John Peters.
Like the whole
Box
John
truck
Peters thing?
scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or also just the scene, her driving the thing backwards. And I was like, that's cool and impressive.
I think that's the only reason it was in. Was
Yeah.
PTA was just like, Okay, let's do this.
I don't know. It was an okay movie. It has its issues, like the age gap, and that the ending is too generic for my taste.
I think the age gap is the one thing that's holding this movie back from.
Oh yeah,
like me actually saying like, hey, go watch this movie.
that's true. Yeah,
Because we just had a whole scandal in Hollywood,
yeah.
and we're still, finding people.
It's somewhat implied
And
that he is 16 at the end because he can drive.
It's still under 18.
It's still under 18. and when that
like
was
if
happening,
if he had been 18 and she was 28, you'd been like, all right, it's a little weird, but he's over 18.
yeah,
But he's 15 in high school. It's
yeah.
like, it makes me uneasy.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
It makes me sad that he then took it into the romantic route and didn't split them up at the end. That's what it's. I'm like, the age gap, whatever. You can like. I have coworkers who are older than me, and I'm still friends with them. I don't care.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
To then take that into okay, I'm gonna make this feel good romantic movie with them too. I'm like, there's a better option here.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Especially because she's 30 and he's 18
In real life.
in real life. So like you have it right there in the character's bios, like, or in the actor's bios. Just make them 30 and 18. It's not okay, but it's legal.
Dude, Cooper Hoffman does not look 18 though. He looks like a high schooler.
I was gonna say he doesn't to me at all.
No.
No.
He looks super.
I
young
think
to me.
I think when Maya Rudolph is like, "Oh, you've been eating your veggies," that was PTA's way of saying, "Yeah, he's 15. Fucking deal with it."
No, I thought he looked. Maybe it was his attitude, where I was like, this guy just acts like.
No,
a kid.
100%. Yeah.
For
He
sure.
he plays the high school character very well,
Very well.
but just physically, I was like, "There's no way this kid is 15."
If I had a class with this guy in high school, I definitely would have hated him. I would have just like not laughed at him.
I mean, considering he hangs out with the same 3 people, I think I would assume not a lot of people would like him.
That's he's a fictional character, Isaac. You didn't have to go that hard.
No, I'm just reading into it too much. Let's talk
we
about
do here.
award buzz.
Award
what do we think?
buzz, none.
What do we think?
Okay.
You don't think so? It's gotten some Golden Globes already.
Oh, did it?
Yes. So it got 4.
It said there on the page. What are you doing? You're back up.
Oh yeah, my bad.
picture.
Accolades. Yeah. There we go. We got Best Motion Picture, Music or Comedy, Best Actor, Cooper Hoffman, Best Actress, Alana Haim, Best Screenplay, PTA. Which of those 4
With the
do you think is going to be an Oscar nom?
probably best screenplay.
I would agree.
Um,
Do we think he gets a Best Director nom?
maybe I would love it if this movie got the best cinematography, even if it didn't win. I just think that'd be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that there was no cinematographer, they're
Again,
credited.
God
yeah.
damn it, PTA.
Yeah.
Just hire somebody, dude. You had $40 million. Hire somebody. Crying out loud.
Make Maya Rudolph your cinematographer.
No
Just
shit,
right?
right? Pay her $5,000. Something, right? Baby, I need help.
Probably also costumes, most likely.
I was gonna say costumes, wardrobe,
Yeah.
makeup seems like the surefire
Any
because it's the
period
70s. It's a
piece,
period
yeah.
piece. It seems like a score, music.
Here's the thing, and I was gonna say this on the car on the drive back home, because Johnny Greenwood does the music.
Shout out.
And I love Radiohead, so I love anything with
Shout
Johnny
out.
Greenwood. But I have an issue with movies that have a soundtrack and a score.
And a score.
And I feel like this movie suffers from that. We're at the end of it, and it said, original score composed by Johnny Greenwood.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I don't know if I heard anything that sounded like original music.
Yeah.
I
definitely did. I noticed there were a couple scenes.
No, yeah, there
like,
definitely
like when
were.
when they're running to each other at the end.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
That I would agree with. The problem is that the standout music in this movie was all songs we already know, right?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily though.
Shout out to PTA for using Peace Frog by
I was
the
gonna
Doors.
say
That's an underrated
there are
one.
not many pop hits.
There's not, but I
Which
said
is
songs you're in.
he went instead of Tarantino, he went the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, that's true. Nevertheless, though, like real There are songs that exist out in the world.
Sure.
It's non-diegetic
sure,
music.
Sure.
Regardless. That would be my only complaint about the soundtrack. So I don't think it'll get nominated. Unless Johnny Greenwood's harmonica is apparently so good that it's worthy of an Oscar nomination.
What about Best Picture?
It'll probably get it just to be like nothing else came out this
Because
year.
it is 10
Yeah.
nominations.
Yeah, so maybe we'll. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, they just have a Rolodex of movies that came out this year, and they're like, oh yeah, Licorice Pizza, sure, whatever, give it an Oscar nom.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
What else came out this year?
Movies that came out in 20.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Oh, it's gonna sweep the awards. What are you talking about? We got Matrix. Oh hell yeah, that's winning everything. The Last Duel. No time
to Die. We even saw that one.
Let's see what else. It's really it.
Oh no, Old is definitely the beach that makes you old.
We forgot. How could we
The
forget?
French Dispatch.
How could we
Yeah, that
forget?
one might be
Gosh,
too.
we're idiots. Spencer.
I want to see that one, and then I didn't end up watching it. But yeah, that
let's
one
see
might
here.
be pretty well.
Schumacher. The Green Knight.
For best documentary.
Forgot that movie ever came out. Jeez,
You
it's
even
been
saw that one.
It's been a long year.
Everybody said that Lamb was really good, so maybe that one will get a
The
nomination.
Netflix movie with Benedict Cumberbatch. What is it? House of the Dog or something like that.
Yeah.
I could see it. It's not really a strong year where there's one
Stand out.
other than Dune
Or
and all the
Lamb.
Marvel movies.
Yeah.
There's not really like a big flagpole.
Yeah, I can see.
Because like in 2019, it was like, whoa, Tarantino. Oh, Mendes. Oh, here's
Here's a Chadwick Boseman NFT for you.
I already forgot all the movies that came out in 2019, and we did a whole podcast on it.
Nomadland.
That was 2020.
Oh yeah. What came out in 2019? This isn't irrelevant. We're not talking about this.
Yeah,
right
I don't
now.
know why we're doing this.
It will probably get nominated, but if it wins, then it will be like the most throwaway win. I think.
That's how you know it's a bad year
Yeah.
in movie making when
Mhm.
a movie like this is
Although
a
it
winner.
might end up beating Hurt Locker for best picture winner with the lowest box office. So maybe there's a record there for it to set at least.
Yeah.
But final thoughts.
Oh, dude, Godzilla vs Kong. How could we forget? Okay, I'm
That's
done.
true, yeah.
Yeah, this is a good movie. It's if you like Paul Thomas Anderson and don't mind watching a movie about pedophilia, I would recommend.
It's only really about pedophilia until the end,
True.
but
True.
It's still there.
True. Well, it's very clear she has strong feelings for him throughout the entire movie that are beyond just like, hey, we're friends.
yeah. But it still could have gone in a better direction.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it's the fact that you can imagine it going in that direction up until the ending.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, no, don't.
No, I'm
don't
with
pull
you on
this
that.
us. Yeah.
How? Let me say this, and I don't think I said this when we were rewatching his movies, but I think this movie, and really it was like probably The Master for me, but I'm gonna use this movie anyways as my talking point. I think Paul Thomas Anderson has cemented himself as a guy that I need to go see within the first 2 weeks of his movies coming out. Like the way I look at Nolan, the way I look at Villeneuve, the way I look at Tarantino, the way I look at Linklater. Like if they come out with new works,
it's worth seeing.
I'm there.
Yeah.
At least, if not within the first 2 weeks, as soon as it hits streaming.
That's true. And you also hadn't seen a lot of his movies prior to doing this podcast too.
Yeah. I mean, I had only seen, the only one I had seen was There Will Be Blood.
Yeah. I'm glad that The Master was the one that made you feel that way, because that movie stands out so much in all the other ones.
Yeah.
I mean, I already agree with you. I actually think that, no, for sure. Even though, as time has gone on, I think personally, and I don't know if I said this in the podcast, but from The Master onwards, his movies have been harder and harder to get into initially.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I agree.
Not even just that there's no marketing or hype, just like the kind of stories he's telling now.
It's
are
the
kind of
concepts of his stories.
Yeah.
Is like, why would I care about a seamster in 1950s London?
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, but it has Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh shit! All right, I'm there.
So no, I would agree. for sure. He's a good director. He knows what he's doing. If you don't see this one, if you don't go see Licorice Pizza, watch Boogie Nights. And if you don't watch Boogie Nights, watch There Will Be Blood or The Master. Those are good ones.
Yeah. Any So it's New Year's, 2022. I'm pulling up on this just randomly.
Okay.
I didn't prep you for this whatsoever.
Okay.
So, any resolutions this year? As far as anything. We talked about personal ones, me and you, a couple nights ago.
Let's get to 1 million subscribers, guys. We can do it. I know.
But I don't know as far as because I know one of mine is to watch a new movie every week.
A new movie every week. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think mine should be.
I don't know if I'm gonna hold myself to it. I've already gotten to 2 this week, so I think I'm good for next week. I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, that's mine. It'd be a new movie every week.
Yeah, I think for me, it should just be like watching more of what I want to watch. I feel like I often want to watch movies and then end up not watching them either because
do you end up watching
I just
a lot
have
of
personal
movies?
interest in them, or it's like nobody else would know this movie even if I did watch it.
Yeah. Do you end up watching movies that you think you should watch versus what you want to? Like for me, people are always a big one was like I'm blanking right now. I am really
big
bad
one for
at
me
this.
was Parasite, where people are like, you gotta see this movie, you gotta see this movie, you gotta see this movie.
Yeah, that's a good
And
one.
I was like, I don't really have any initial interest other than it's Korean and that's cool, but it's like, I don't know. I'll decide for
Any
myself when I
Netflix,
see
any Netflix movie,
any
really.
Netflix movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Don't Look Up has been getting a lot of buzz.
We'll talk about that one. I paused that one halfway.
You did?
We'll talk about that one.
All right. I
If
haven't
we
seen
ever
it
get
all,
to it.
But yeah. So I think a good one for me would probably be watch more TV. Since I probably have not seen the TV show since we did Invincible.
Dang, that's a long time.
So if you have any good TV show recommendations, let me know. And I'm speaking specifically to my sister, who I know is going to be the only person watching up to
Recommend The
this
Sopranos so we can finally get around to watching it.
point. LMAO. Yeah,
Cool.
I think that would be... I'll watch Don't Look Up, and then we can do an episode on it.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that off
Whether
air.
or not you finish it.
We'll talk about that off air. Next week, we're going to break down our favorite movies of 2021.
Nice.
Which is something that we... Either it's going to be... Well, the list is going to be favorite movies we watched in 2021 or favorite movies we rewatched in 2021.
Yeah. Because we're extending it beyond just movies that came out.
Yeah, because not a lot of movies actually came out. Well, a lot of movies did come out. We just didn't go see a lot of movies in 2021.
Yeah.
As far
also,
as like
the nature
new
of
ones.
this podcast, we've rewatched
A lot
of
Yeah,
stuff, too.
Yeah, I'm specifically thinking, yeah.
So this is going to be a run back on our Paul Thomas Anderson. There Will Be Blood.
So
in the
basically, I'm
Master.
going to link the David Fincher, Christopher Nolan, and
PTA with
Paul Thomas Anderson rewatches.
That's it.
And that's our episode for next week. No. We'll break it down because there's a couple that
I
I
got
think
some interesting ones.
I'll
too,
throw some curveballs at you. But anyways, that's it for us this week. Thank you guys for being patient, waiting for us. We appreciate all 6 of you. Hope you had a safe and wonderful holiday season. Ooh. And yeah, catch you guys later.